recording. Stop recording. Button.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tech Rant. My name is Q, and today I'm going to talk about the benefits, kind of the pros and cons of being a Sprint customer. And what I'll do is I'll pick a carrier. Uh, I'll pick different carriers and take based on what I know or what I've had experienced personally, and I'll list some of the great, the benefits. So the advantages and disadvantages of going with each company. So today I'll talk about Sprint, which is currently who I mainly deal with on a day-to-day basis. I don't have a cell phone with Sprint. I have a Sprint Home Phone Connect 3 wireless home phone terminal that I use for my office. And honestly, I haven't had any issues with it. It was actually cheaper than going with my local phone company, and it was actually also cheaper than going to like my cable company for a business line, because I would have to pay $100 installation fee. So and Sprint was able to waive the activation fee and all that stuff, and all I had to pay up front was $10. So yeah, that was excuse me, that was pretty stellar. So, but yeah, so basically, in talks of advantages and disadvantages, so one of the great advantages about Sprint is, and I've noticed this, that Sprint will take anybody. Usually, I know like Verizon, you have to have good credit, or somewhere in between decent, to actually get Verizon service. Well, Sprint will actually take a chance on you, whether you have good credit, bad credit, or no credit. My little sister actually, she applied for service last week, and they actually ran a check, and she doesn't have any credit. She's just getting started, and they actually was able to approve her for 2 lines of service, which is basically what they did with me before my credit jumped up where it is now. So she has no credit, or the lowest score possible, because everybody starts off with a score of 300. So she has no credit history whatsoever. But Sprint said, well, you know what, we're going to take a chance on you. So they actually approved her for 2 lines of service. And the good thing about Sprint is, when they approve you for service, your down payment is fairly cheap compared to some of the other ones. I've seen T-Mobile. T-Mobile can be pretty reasonable in a lot of cases, but Sprint is actually, they approve you for the 2 lines of service. Their down payment prices are pretty damn stellar, actually. So that's one advantage of Sprint. Sprint has the cheapest plan, the cheapest unlimited plan when it comes to national carriers. So, like, you take a look at Verizon. Verizon is like $75 for unlimited. AT&T is about the same price, not more, and T-Mobile is, I think, it's about the same price. $50 right now if you're a new customer. You switch. You can actually get unlimited for $50. But even in 65 or 60, if you have auto pay, that's still not a bad price for unlimited. Yeah, it's taxes and fees and all that other shit you have to pay, but honestly, that's the best price for unlimited. And honestly, Sprint really does take the game, and they really do work with their customers. It's pretty, it's pretty stellar pricing, and like I said, the down payments are fairly reasonable, especially if you're coming over from a different company. From what I've seen, they will treat customers with nothing but respect. So honestly, I have to give Sprint the props on that. So let's see. Another advantage of Sprint is the fact that if you sign up for auto pay, and most carriers I think do this, but I know Sprint does for sure. If you sign up for auto pay, you will actually get a $5 discount per line. And also, like, if you are a customer with no like you have bad credit, or sometimes new customers have to pay a $7.99 spending limit charge, which is basically like an amount of credit that you can get for roaming charges and all that stuff, but you have to pay for that. So basically what Sprint will do is they will waive the $7.99 spending limit charge if you sign up for auto pay. So not only do you save $5 per each additional line, You also save the $7.99 spending limit charge. Plus, you can enroll in e-bill. So you receive an email when your bill is ready for you every month and things of that nature. So Sprint really does have some perks, guys. They also give you discounts. Most carriers actually do this, but Sprint also has a credit union that you can join, and you can get a discount for being a member of them. You can also, if your teachers get a discount, military employees, former and present, of course they get a discount. A lot of major companies and brands, you can actually get discounts. And also, if you refer a friend, which I'm looking to do, you each will get $50 prepaid Visa card. So that's just some of the benefits of Sprint. So Sprint really has a lot of perks, if you ask me. Now they also include Hulu in the price plan, and also I think they still have the promotion where you can get 6 months of Tidal for free right now, because Sprint did buy Tidal last year, something like that, or they bought a stake in Tidal or something. I don't know. Something happened with Tidal. And Boost Mobile customers can take advantage of it too. I took advantage of it. Tidal's okay. It's just the $10 I'm paying. I would be paying for it. It just wasn't worth it in my book. So, but yeah, some of the disadvantages of Sprint is the coverage is. From a lot of people complain that the coverage is not that great. Where I live, me personally, I get between. I would get a minimum of 2 bars. Every once in a while, I go in at 1 bar status. But honestly, my calls have been stellar. I have Boost Mobile, which uses Sprint's towers, and honestly, for the Boost Mobile service, I get between 2 to 3 bars. At least using my iPhone. Now, on my J7 Perks, I got 4 and full signal. My Sprint Home Phone Connect, it does pretty good. It gets between 4 and 5 bars. It gets between, so it really tries. But all of my Boost Mobile phones, my Virgin Mobile, my T-Mobile, my Boost Mobile, Sprint, all of them work pretty good. So, but a lot of people complain that the coverage is not that strong, and it is weak in a lot of areas. A lot of places will have voice coverage, but not data coverage. So yeah, Sprint really does need to. They have a good wide spectrum. The 2.5 gigahertz spectrum. They really need to make use of it and help broaden some of the coverage around some areas. Sprint would definitely be good if they just worry and increase the coverage just a little bit better. Another thing about Sprint is what I've noticed with Sprint personally is that your bill is never predictable. So I never had a ridiculous amount bill. However, my bill does seem to change from month to month. It may be $1 higher, $2 higher, $3 lower, a couple cents or whatever like that, and which is fine. But normally, especially when you're a business owner, you like to calculate an approximate of what your bill is going to be on a monthly basis. And for the most part, I stay within what I have the approximation. I stay way under a couple bucks or so of what the bill might be. But usually, when you go time to do budget, you like to get an exact amount. Just taking the battery out of this. You like to have an exact amount. So I'm upset that I really can't have that with Sprint. I used to have it with Verizon when I had Verizon a couple years ago, but Sprint, I can't seem to be predictable. Especially also because sometimes things happen and they give you credits and adjustments. That's okay. But even when I had normal that I was paying for, I could not get a all the way together bill. So that is can be a negative of Sprint. Let's see. Another thing I'm not too fond about with Sprint is a lot of the times they don't tell you about a lot of things up front. So usually when people apply for service, they usually assume that people want the latest and the greatest. Sometimes people, you may just want a second phone or you just want something for work. So they don't tell you that you can finance devices for as low as $5 a month, or even free. A lot of times they don't talk about the free devices. Strictly probably because they don't sell a lot of those and they're so basic. But honestly, I think they really should talk about the free devices. Give people the option. Some people really just want a basic smartphone, and that's fine. So I think Sprint could really do better with that. Tell people, give people the option when when they apply for service about their phones. Another bad thing about Sprint is that they're really trying to force people to get unlimited. Because for regular postpaid service, $45 only gives you like 2 or 3 gigs of data, versus the prepaid I think is like 4 gigs for $40, which is not that bad. But honestly, at least do better. Verizon gives you what 5 gigs for 45 or $55. So Sprint could really give their customers more data with the with a shared plan. With a lower tier plan, they could really do at least 5 gigs for $45 at least. 2 or 3, it's not really a good deal. So don't force people to get unlimited. I also think Sprint should really take the initiative, just like just like T-Mobile has done with Metro PCS. They should follow in Boost Mobile's footsteps and do the no taxes and fees. I think if they did the no taxes and fees, they would really gain a lot of attention. And because like I said, especially with the taxes and fees, and it varies from month to month, you can't have a stellar bill. When you're somebody like me who's got numbers to keep track of, you really want an exact amount. And the fact that you can't get it, I don't know. It's not a big negative, but it is something to consider. But overall, Sprint has more positives to it than it does negative, and it's probably one of the most reasonable, easiest postpaid carriers to deal with out of the four. So when I'm talking about major carriers, I'm talking about AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile. Sprint has the least hassles, the least worries, and they're the easiest to get on, and they have the most reasonable prices. So I would really consider Sprint if you're looking for a major carrier, especially if you got bad credit. It's just something to look at, something, especially if you're porting over. So if this was helpful and informative in any way, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, all that down below, and I will greatly appreciate it. Catch you guys on the next one. Keep the Tech Rants. Sign it out. Later.